What is up, guys? It is 12inch back with another account update. We are 12 hours away from our next pass fight, so yeah, if you guys were there, I guess it's going to probably be released in the future after the pass fight, then I guess you know how it goes. This should be for about 3 days, so and if you're here within like 2 days of this release, or 1 day or whatever, whenever it comes out, it's going on right now. Anyway, let's get into the quick account update, just going through everything. Letting y'all know where I'm at. Right now, we are currently like 12 hours before Pass 7 opens, and we can like go through our honor and all that good stuff, and I'll just shut up for a second and just start going through the account. So, big things that happened recently. We won another MGE. It was mocked. Again, I know you guys are sick to your stomach, but it was just so easy. It was nobody wants leadership. For other MGEs, like sometimes we'll see like 200 mil, 300 mil as people go for like an infantry or a cavalry or an archer MGE. Man, for mocked, for leadership MGEs, no one does anything. I want to say like all but 2 million of these points. On day 2, I think I did a full 28 mil on the second day of this MGE. It was just so easy. I spent like 100,000 AP and I got 180 sculptures for Mock. I mean, Mock's not the best commander on the planet, but I mean, I use him. I use him for barbs. I use him for kahars. Like, I'm probably gonna use him for like nightmare mode, Kawarak. Like, it's just not too shabby for sure. So this KVK, we've also gone up about 200 million kill points. In terms of Crusader achievements, we've got 10.7 mil C kills. Ideally, I get to 30 mil this KVK. That'd be really, really nice. And our fire camp, our opponents, have been doing really well for me to be able to do that. So we'll go through our Crusader achievements right now. Currently, I am at 44 million crystals spent about, but I think I have to finish the current research I have to refresh that. And then obviously I have 500k in pocket, so it's about 45 mil. This puts me, I believe, a little bit ahead of a low spender. I think if you bought pop-ups and the crystal mine, I think I'm a little ahead of you. If you bought Mountain Warfare, you're probably ahead of me. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well overall. In terms of honor, we're also doing pretty solidly. I mean, we're 3rd place. It's not too shabby, but realistically, like, we walked into this KVK with like 150,000 honor. And we've just been doing a lot of chaining, so it's been pretty good. Since the last episode, if I do remember correctly, I did not have a special talented Hope Cloak, so we have that now. We also got our 4th piece of Forest Guardian. That's probably not super relevant for most people thinking about it, but you know, it's very nice for me to be able to get an extra 5% gems whenever I gather. Over here, we have a barbing set for mocked. I don't generally chain with 3 marchers anymore just because I don't have any AP after the MGE, but I generally just chain with Richard YG, so maybe I'll dismantle some of that. Right now, we're working on Ring of Doom. I believe we are 86 or 87 out of 120 for it. It would be really, really nice to have this in Iconic It, because this would put me at 7 out of 8 Iconic Legendaries on my thing, and on my top march, and the only thing I have left to do is my Eternal Night, and best believe I have the blueprints for that. So we'll just go through everything real quick. We've also made sure to keep buying army expansions. It's one of those things where it's like, every single time I see an army expansion for 1,500 in that shop, I pick it up. I've used quite a few gems on it, but if you want to fight in the open field, there is no other way to do it. A 50% expansion is just absolutely nuts versus the vast majority of players. Because weirdly enough, because I'm in a C or D KVK where each camp has 5 kingdoms, some people are like pretty kitted out in terms of crystal tech, but there are a lot of just jobbers out there. There are a lot of people that are going to run out with like terrible comms, like T4, not expansion, way worse tech than me, and I'll absolutely clobber them. And it gets a lot easier when I've got the Street Sweeper, the Guan Sip, hitting you with the 314 or 318,000 units. Because I've just gotten some one-shots out there with this. All right, let's just go through everything else. Yeah, so right now we also have 169 legendary sculptures. I think my next investment is probably going to be Nevsky and Joan. I think probably Joan primary, Nevsky secondary. I know generally people will take Nevsky as a primary commander because they really like the extra damage, and because if they have Trajan, their rage gain is enough to where they don't need it. But because I don't have Trajan, I'll be fighting with 1, maybe 2 marches. Having the extra support She Rejuvenate from Joan is pretty good. Also, I have 2 Navars, so I'm probably going to be going for a Cab March next, no matter how I slice it. So I think it's going to be Joan Nevsky. But obviously, I don't have the sculpts right now, so it's not really a huge one. Obviously, we've got the 5-5-1-1 Richard, as always, the 5-5-1-2 Martel, expertise, 5-1-5-5-1, This is probably the luckiest thing I've ever gotten in my account. I really wish I had a special talent on any of my first crafted legendaries. Those of you who've been here for a while know that this was a refine, this is a refine. Our first refine on the Shield of Eternal Empire is a 25 out of 100. So we have not been getting very lucky with gear. Getting a 5-1-5-5 Guan with no resets was obviously very nice. If y'all are there for that stream, y'all know it was hype. Holy shit. Is it possible? Oh my god! There's no way! Yes! Oh my god! Holy fuck! Whoa! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! We actually fucking did it! But I really, God, I wish this was like any kind of gear, because I would rather just expertise him and have like a gear special talent. His heads are nowhere near as impactful as gear for me right now. Our mocked is 5541. As I get more AP, or like if we win KVK and then I get to chain in KL, I'll probably bring him to 5551. I think for the extra 10 sculptures, I put 20 to bring him to 5511, and then I guess I'll put another 10 for 5551. I think that'll be pretty good, and then I think that's the last I'll ever invest in him. His rally just doesn't matter that much. The direct damage factor here is only doubled for like the entire expertise. And then over, like, the best it can do is another 200 damage factor. So it's like, not even, I would have to invest another 390 sculpts to not even like triple the direct damage factor on his fourth ability. And that's sad. So no more mock investment. That is what it is. If I win any other leadership MGEs, it's probably just going to Theodora. But then again, if I win a third one, I honestly wish I just invested everything into Theo. But I had no idea I'd ever get a second one. So, you know, it's kind of like a weird spot to be in. Chow Chow, I'm bringing to level 60. I've been told repeatedly that he's good as a like CC Theo chaining. There's a guy named Pluto Gaming. Can't remember what kingdom he's in, but people keep telling me he chains a bunch with CC Theo. It's the nuts. It's really good. And obviously, I use Richard YSG, I use Mocked Ethelfled, and I use CM Cyrus. So I guess maybe CC Theo is just gonna break it. It's gonna be my fourth one. That'd be pretty nice. It'd be a good place to put my cavalry gear when I'm not fighting as well. So having a cavalry peacekeeper is gonna be pretty sweet, I think. So it's probably better that I start making him as I start investing in Adepsky Joan and like Navarre's and Ash of the Dawn as well. JC, my El Cid is actually really far. We have an El Cid Bastion this KVK. Now the Bastion's not very good and I'm not running 5 marches. So like, I don't need this, but if you're like a garrison or a rally this KVK, I would actually have considered, if I were, of course, weren't FTP, I guess, if I was like resetting or something, I'd probably reset and I'd dump like 4 extra into an yielding. I'd just like open all the abilities and just like hope we get 5 on the last one. Just because I'll never use him like as a functional fighter. But in terms of a Bastion, like I wouldn't mind having that last ability up if I was like fighting to Frown every day. Cleo is going to be the last gatherer I expertise. It's probably going to be like 2 more strat reserves until she's done, and then I'm done. Ishida has been expertised. Sun Dyuk has been expertised. Cyrus, I just unlocked in the Archer wheel. No, I pulled him from Sovereign Keys. I got a full free Cyrus and Sovereign Keys, which is pretty lucky because Cyrus is his third ability gives him a potential for a YSG level circular AoE. So he just functions as a chainer. He's pretty good. I wanted to use him with Mocked, but Mocked just kills barbs way too fast. Because Cyrus's thing is random, if you have someone like Martel is not going to kill barbs quickly. So it's okay that it takes Cyrus a little bit to get his AoE off because it's like a 10% chance, I think. Yeah, so 10% chance isn't very high. The rotation on that can, you can just low roll. And it's always really nice to have your AoE as a secondary ability. But I mean, when you're running low on circular AoEs, Cyrus isn't bad. And for a 1-1-1-1 investment, that's the same as Theodora, except he comes on the wheel, so you can just 10 spin him. I think it's pretty nice. I got Tommy to 5 for the all-out rumble thing. I am considering later on, as I get like small portions of MGEs for Archer Commanders, I think I'm going to try and get her last skill to 5. I think it's pretty important for Bastions. Obviously, I haven't seen any Bastions yet, so I'm not like sweating too hard about it, but as I understand it, every single time a Tommy Wrist Bastion comes in for this 4th ability, it's actually nuts in KVK. You either have it and you're smashing people in the field, or you don't have it and you're crying. So I would like to be one of the people who's not crying. In terms of All Out Rumble, I don't know how interested you guys are in that, but that's the next really big thing on my account. I'll show my achievements after this, but I'm just trying to make sure I get all of these to 511, so I just like 10 spin wheels for them. Nothing like too big. I just don't do that for probably infantry, since I already have Alex expertise. I think I'm going to stop doing it for Cav as well. Actually, I don't think I ever did it with Khan, because I've been trying to get Alex and Joan. But for archers, I don't really care too much about Boudica. I think she's good. I just don't have the gear to like set her up so it kind of doesn't matter too much. Jishka, I got a cavalry MGE. I think I got like 50 sculpts on it. I meant to get this for Attila and not for Jishka, but I unlocked him, so customer service would not let me swap the MGE. Just if you guys don't know, you can actually swap your MGE stuff, which if you get something you don't want, as long as you don't spend them, you can swap it. And you best believe I spent them a little early. I still don't have Theo unlocked. I obviously need to get on that, but like every single time I see a number 1 leadership MGE, there's not a huge reason to put anything into Theo, because like I need at most 60 for Theo, but reasonably I only need 10, right? So if I get 180, putting that into Theodora is kind of psychotic. Now, if I knew I was going to win 2 and maybe I win 1 more in the future, and that would put me at like 540 Theo sculpts, I would definitely have put it into Theo, right? Because like expertise Theo, yeah, I'm not saying I want to go city baiting, but might be a little satisfying, you know, beat off a little swarm as an F2P. You know, nothing too crazy, but I think it'd be kind of fun. Because the rest of the options are like Wu Zetian or Suleiman. I guess Wu Zetian would be better if I ever considered going back to KVK2, but I don't. So that's just not something I think about too much. Okay, over here, we're going to go through the rankings real quick. And now we're going to go through the achievements. The only achievements that you guys that I think actually matter, I guess, I don't know if engineer's ever going to finish, just because like I don't gather anything. So I probably want these achievement points at some point. I just don't know how to shoehorn them in because it's such a waste of my time. I'm thinking about sending out gatherers in the alliance pits before I go to sleep, but even at that, I'm so lazy. I'd rather just have like 40 extra gems. I probably should like value the resources. I don't know, dude. It's hard for me to do. And then obviously Overlord is going to come in time as I just get more units and I just grow as a player and unlock more commanders. But I don't really care too much about Matador. I don't think like whaling up or getting to a high power is really impactful. I get a lot of people asking me like, oh, when are you going to get to 100 mil power? Like, that'd be so cool. And it's like, if you're 100 mil power FTP, like that's not a good thing, right? Like nobody's looking at that going like, wow, that's great. You know, this is going to come really fast. Like before the end of this KVK, we're going to get this because we're going to 30 mil. Django in the Wind, I don't know if we're going to get this. I assume at some point during an MTG, I might just build a bunch of cosmetics and call it a day. I'm really hesitant because I care so little about this. But if it's between this and All Out Rumble, then I'm going to get All Out Rumble doing this, but it's not going to be for a while. And then All Out Rumble, this is the Pioneer achievements. This is what I'm working on right now. We should be able to get this within about 4 months, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I think 3 or 4 months is probably my my spitball. Yeah, should look fine. Then Master Commander, blah, blah, blah. Champion. The only thing we have in here is like, I think like Moctezuma and the Zenith of Power, I think. Yeah, just some little trolley type of stuff. It will be nice when I build 2 more legendary pieces and I get another iconic, but obviously people are already starting to fill up on iconics. Troop composition, and then we can look at the map. We lost our Zone 5, but our allies won their Zone 5. So the zone, you know, this entire KVK is pretty contested. This is where we lost. I believe this is where our allies won. Yeah. So pretty cool overall. And then if you guys are curious what I bought in the shop, I showed it off earlier, but I just bought the ring. So I'm going to get at least 1 conquest coin for getting to 30 mil kills, and I might get a second one for potentially getting to top 20 honor. I'm not planning on spending either of them, and I'm also not planning on spending any more season coins. As I understand it, armaments may come to the sock shop, so I don't want to find myself in a situation where I had access to a bunch of coins and I just blew them off on random shit. So I will be holding on to my coins for now, and then later on I'll have to decide, you know, if it is relevant or not. And if you guys really want, here's my Lost Canyon. I will no longer be showing my Sunset Canyon. It's just not relevant. I don't care about Sunset anymore, and honestly, you guys probably shouldn't either. This is my Lost Canyon, the thing that I use in LK, and I mean, it's okay. It's not like really good. It's not really bad. It just doesn't really matter at my stage of the game. If you guys are early game, like I understand, you know, it's like, oh, like what's your Sunset? What's your Lost Canyon? So this is probably the last time I'll ever show it. It's completely irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Oh my God, I almost forgot my crystal tech. I think I would have been absolutely gunned down in the street over that. The first thing I did was I maxed all my e-contact, especially my Barbarian reports. Then I went through, made sure I got to Skillful Operations 2, and then I maxed everything else out, namely Barbarian reports, Plunder, Karaku's Gift. Then we're going to finish Swift Marching, Treaties, Cultural Exchange, and then we're going to bust through here. I'm really tempted to get 6 marches, but as I understand it, it's kind of a waste because eventually I am probably going to break through the end. Just because if I don't get 100 mil crystals spent, I'm not going to start the next KVK with 4 mil crystals. So win, lose, or draw this KVK, I do have to like go through everything. So I have to make sure that my crystals go as far as I possibly can. I will release a crystal guide probably at the end of this KVK or maybe the next one. I tried to use some of Pinpin's guide, but you know, it was more of just like a blueprint. I had a idea of what I was going to do, but I didn't execute it as well as possible. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a grinder, so I knew what I was doing, so I could kind of course correct myself, but I don't feel really comfortable on releasing a guide just yet. So if you guys are looking for that, I'll be releasing a first Season of Conquest guide, and then I'll be releasing a second one. And the reason why I'm going to be releasing 2 is because the first one's got, you start with 1.5 million crystals, and the second one you start with 4 million crystals. So I'm going to differentiate a little bit there. With that being said, that is it. I appreciate you guys dropping by. I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to help out your boy, please drop a like, a comment, consider subscribing, all that good stuff. And if you guys enjoy the content and you want to get notifications for when I post content or when I go live, or if you want to contact me on offline, the single best place to find me is that Discord in the description below. So make sure to head there if you guys are interested. Other than that, guys, I love you all. Bye.